Hey! Welcome back to another edition of So You're Interested In, the show where I break down an artist's discography in order to give you, the viewer, the best possible jumping off point in order to get into their catalog. On this installment, let's talk about the rising emo group Home Is Where. I've been wanting to cover this band for a hot minute now, and after the release of their stellar LP, The Wailer, I felt that now was the right time. Hailing from the state of Florida, Home Is Where has been at the forefront of the modern emo movement ever since dropping their landmark record, I Became Birds. Taking elements of folk and indie, as well as screamo and power violence, this group likes to keep you on your toes. Now, you might be asking yourself, how could that combination of noises possibly sound good? Well, I am glad that you asked, my friend, because I'm going to take the next several minutes to tell you all about it. As per usual, I'll be recommending 2 albums and 3 individual tracks that I think you should be checking out so you can start your journey into Home Is Where. Let us start with the album, shall we? The first Home Is Where record to check out is their 2021 release, I Became Birds. Overflowing with harmonica-enriched melodies, you might forget that this is even an emo record. That is, of course, until lead singer Brandon McDonald comes in and starts barking on the mic with all of her power. Also, yes, I do know this is only a 6-song EP, but in a lot of ways it does feel like an album, so I'm gonna let it pass. The first track that's really gonna catch your eye is Long Distance Conjoined Twins. This is a rocking emo tune with enough vigor and passion to power a small town in Ohio with roaring vocal passages and country-tinged guitars. It's one of those songs that still slaps even if you don't know the lyrics, but I'm gonna tell you right now, you should probably learn them so you can sing along. Same goes for the next cut, Sewn Together from the Membrane of the Great Sea Cucumber. To me, this is the magnum opus of the project due to the sheer emotion that is released. The buildup of singing I Wanna Pet Every Puppy I See is wholesome and inviting, but the tsunami of screamo they are hit with after makes it even better. It's a cascading barrage of noise that ruthlessly invades your eardrums, yet by the end, you'll wish there was even more. Another song that features a fun sing-along is Assisted Harakiri. I guess I should have mentioned that most of this record is an allegory for McDonald to talk about being trans and what that was like for her. It's an integral part of this project, with Assisted Harakiri being a major piece. Outside of chanting cops are flammable and other fun lefty lyrics comes the deeply personal feelings on the treachery of anatomy. I can't say that I know her pain simply because I'm not trans myself, but goddamn, these lyrics can be absolutely devastating knowing that this is how she felt. Yet there is no moment more freeing on this project than her screaming I Became Birds towards the end of this track. Please, please, please go listen to I Became Birds in full before tossing on this next LP. Another wonderful release from Home Is Where is indeed their latest effort, The Wailer. Whoa mama, I've been looking forward to covering this from the moment the LP dropped. It's such a powerful look at the way we as humans continue on each day, regardless of the tragedies that precede us and how we cope with immeasurable loss as a society. Don't worry, there's still plenty of metaphors relating to the trans experience, along with mentions of 9/11 and Chris Farley. Kicking off this debut album is Skin Meadow, a song that proves that you can sing the word Skin Meadow over and over again and it'll still sound good so long as Home Is Where is your backing band. This song also shows the immense growth of this outfit since I Became Birds, as this cut is completely fleshed out with no holes to be found. It's a bumpin' tune, much like the accurately titled track, Every Day Feels Like 9/11. There's something truly beautiful about the mix of screaming and singing in the verses as they cancel out each other's extremities. Once you give this track a spin, you won't be able to deny how much fun it is to dance and shout along to the repeated lyrics of Every Day Feels Like 9/11. One of the slower and more flowery tracks is Daytona 500. A vivid picture of a post-9/11, post-Dale Earnhardt Florida is painted with such detail and attention. Plus, the repeated closing lines of the end of the world is taking forever has got to be some of the most relatable Home Is Where lyrics to date. Finally, this LP comes to a halt with floral organs. McDonald has said this is the closest Home Is Where has come to writing a love song, which is rather funny considering how much this cut talks about whale guts and spitting teeth. But floral organs is a nice note to end on as the blasting harmonica tries to bring you back to a place of familiarity and comfort. I've said this on the channel already, but I genuinely do think The Wailer will be the blueprint for modern emo to come, so don't get left in the dust and put this sucker on. That's gonna wrap up the album, so now it's time for some tracks. The first Homosware track to check out is Venison from their debut 2019 EP, Our Mouths to Smile. Now listen, this is pretty rough around the edges in comparison to I Became Birds and The Wailer, but all of the essential components to a Homosware song are on display. The nostalgia-tinged instrumental is essential to bringing these cryptic lyrics to life. McDonald sings about focusing on the present, not worrying about the past or the future, as she seems to be dealing with some type of trauma that happened to her before. It's not the cleanest song, it's not the most mind-blowing song, and it's certainly not the best Homosware song, but Venison is still very important to hear if you are an incoming listener. Next up, you should listen to Creationist with Pierce Jordan of Soul Glow from their 2022 split with Record Setter. This is without a doubt the weirdest song that I'll mention in this video. The song's construction and soundscape are kinda messy, jumping around without much of a transition at all, but at the end of the day, I'm talking about this track because the sections that do hit hard. Specifically, the song's ending feels like an epic car crash with instruments, vocals, and glass flying everywhere. Yet it still feels somewhat hopeful, like we can change the course of our own car from crashing before it's too late. Creationist is a killer cut and you'd be a fool to avoid it. Let's close this video out by talking about the live version of the scientific classification of stingrays from their 2021 Audiotree live session. I'll be blunt, this is not my favorite performance by them, but I do find it incredibly necessary for you to listen to one of their live cuts, so why not make it this banger from I Became Birds? I will say that the standout part of the song is McDonald's scream vocals in a live setting. Her vocals enrich and excite the instruments behind her, almost forcing the energy to pick up because of her demands. I would have mentioned the studio version when I talked about I Became Birds, but I thought it'd be more fun to talk about this in a live context and really spice things up a bit. And that will conclude my video covering Homosware. Links to all the albums and tracks mentioned here will be located in the video description box below. Go to the comments, let me know if you liked my picks, disliked my picks, had some other suggestions, whatever it is, go down, start a discourse, and I will be sure to respond. Please subscribe for more videos just like this, along with other shows like So You're Interested In, Where It's At, The Variety Show. I'm always putting out new content, so just subscribe and you'll be the first one to know. Anyway, my camera is literally about to die right now, so let's close things out by giving you my usual reminders to go out and support your local record store if you are able to, along with the local artists in your area, and, well, until I see you next time, happy listening.